stuff and think. What did you do with the HDMI cable?
He threw it on the ground.
It's not my dad, that's an HDMI cable.
Did you just come to the band you want to see and then leave? Oh,
Yeah.
That's too awesome.
Yeah, I'm leasing out in like 5 minutes.
I should probably not have that up on my screen when I put this on.
Did you see my comments, by the way?
No.
Okay, I took away my approval. There's not enough laser sound effects.
Okay.
Or animated GIFs.
Well, so
Or guest books.
most of the research team approves of this presentation. I actually made it entirely by myself. Entirely because Dare made a presentation. So I can make a presentation too.
Hey Joe, we have the standard collection of the research team, which is 3/4.
Yes. So if you are interested in knowing what is going on with labs this year, this is not the presentation for you. That's not what we're talking about. We have meetings every Thursday you can attend. You can hit us up in Slack. We will have our own MAGcon where we will go into detail about all of those things. But I figured if we're going to spend some time, we should talk about like the big things of how labs fits into the organization. And so I made a bunch of slides, and I'm surprising literally everyone because I made them all myself. So I'm going to start out with a vaguely tautological examination of our mission statement. These slides are lifted from...
What's tautological?
You'll understand it in a minute. I lifted these slides from another presentation.
There was a request for introductions.
We're the research team. We run labs. I'm Joe.
I'm Jared.
I'm Donnelly.
There's also Chris Hybe, who we've recently added to the research team. She isn't here because this wasn't important.
We have an important security thing where only 3/4 of the research team can be in one place at one time.
Yeah, it's exactly that. The research team is a group of people who do things and stuff. Dom gave us $70,000 and told us to run an event. That's ultimately what happened.
We're going to bankrupt MAGLabs. That's who we are.
So, to understand how MAGLabs fits into all of this stuff, we have to first understand what our mission statement is. So we're going to go through a vaguely tautological examination of our mission statement. And our mission statement, if you haven't heard it, is to make the world a better place through video games. That is the Magfest mission statement. So, as a part of this mission statement, there's a fundamental belief that you have to have in order for this mission statement to make sense, which is that video games make the world a better place. That's sort of the foundational belief that underlies all of this. So we can rephrase this slightly as we're going to use video games to make the world a better place, which is the modified mission statement of Magfest. And if you don't understand the top part, I said this in Slack at one point, and Nick was like, "You don't understand tautology, Joe." And I was like, "Yes, I do."
I don't understand tautology.
Okay, well, you just saw an example of it. You can look it up later. It's on Wikipedia. It's fine. So we're going to use video games to make the world a better place. Well, how do we do that? And we do that through, I should probably have, I don't remember what the rest of these slides are.
It's a surprise to everybody.
And
that's MAGLabs in us.
So I don't remember exactly how this presentation was supposed to go and when I was supposed to switch slides. Let's see what's on the next slide. Okay, so, right. So the point of MAGLabs is to be an event where we use video games to make the world a better place, and somehow that has to be different from the main MAGFest, because we tried just doing a smaller version of MAGFest and it didn't really work that well. So what we came up with was we were going to focus on the making part of the video games and build an event that was in service of enabling people to make new video games. So how are video games made? Contrary to popular belief, it's not just some fancy robot spitting out video games, but actually it's made with people. So people make video games. It's not just this stuff. Yes. I mean, contrary to popular belief. So what do people need to make video games, and where are we going with this? So we've gone through a bunch of iterations, and we've landed on a pretty key way that we're structuring the event. And that is something that the rest of the research team actually can do because they know what I'm talking about. And that is the play, learn, create, and rock. If you look at our website this year, that's front and center. That's how this event is structured. And so, because I'm going to be talking through most of the rest of this, I'm going to turn it over to you guys to explain what these are, even though you haven't seen the bullet points.
All right, I guess I'll start because the play idea came from something I started, and the play idea is essentially take everything that would usually invite you to be creative, like playing video games or playing with LinkedIn logs, putting Legos together, playing card games, arcade games, anything that you can just kind of play with and enjoy that might spark your creativity is our play area. So all of that is all in one giant space now. It's been a lot of fun trying to figure out how to fit everything into that one space in a fluid manner, but we'll see how it comes out.
I like to think of it as we're breaking down the walls between games.
And the reason that's sort of important to labs as is a thing that is focused on making is that like play is what starts this creative process from happening. So we want people to be able to have a place where they can play, get ideas, explore new concepts, bring people together, and maybe come up with some sort of an idea.
So now that you've been playing your games and have some creative ideas, you want to make something, but making things takes some skill, which you have to learn. So we have things like, that's where we have panels, and we have things like the Jam Clinic and hands-on workshops where we can teach people how to make, how to actually create the things that they want to make. And so we're bringing in people who know how to make things and how to teach other people to make things in order to help people learn.
Skills are important. Skills can be taught. We know stuff. Other people know stuff. And together we will all know stuff.
And from skills you can profit.
Something. I don't know. I just put that in there because it was funny. And then we get into the create part. This is the really the new thing that I think that we add into the Magfest org umbrella ecosystem. It's always been there. It's sort of not been very explicit, and we're making it very explicit and out there. And the idea is really simple. It's that video games aren't going to make anything better if no one makes them. We want to give people the skills and the ideas that they need to make something, and then we want people to have some way to show off the things that they've made so that other people can see it and think that that's awesome, and so that there's some sort of benefit at the end of this. It doesn't just mean games, right? We're not just talking about indie stuff, although that certainly plays a big part. If you think about it, we're talking about cosplay, we're talking about random board games, anything, you can make anything. And so giving people an opportunity to show that stuff off, the really cool things that they've made, is one of the core things that we're in the process of building. So now that we've gone through that, what do we have next? Rock.
We have a concert hall. There's going to be concerts. There's going to be bands, DJs. When you want to rock out and when you're tired of creating things and learning things, just go mosh somebody.
Yeah. These aren't. We've defined the concepts as these things. We've identified these things as like the four pillars that make up labs as an event. What we haven't quite done is define what they are and what makes them their things and what that is. So I think this one is probably the most undefined currently. But the idea is that at its core, an event needs to have fun. It needs to be entertaining and engaging for people, and this is a big way that we do that through a lot of the music stuff and a lot of the other stuff that we give. Like, yeah, that's the thing. So that is how we've broken everything down, and that is how we were structuring all of our communications and all of our promo and all of that stuff. Magfest is about video games. MAGLabs is a fusion of video games and making, and the way that we do that is by having these four things. So right. So this is actually I know you've heard Dom talked about the mosh pit. This is actually taken straight from the mosh pit as something I said. So you guys are getting a look behind the curtain, and I think this goes to show sort of the departure in thinking. I was looking at this lineup, and we were bullshitting, right? We were bullshitting in.
It was one of the Thursday meetings.
Yeah, this is how much fun we have in our Thursday meetings.
It was in one of our Thursday meetings, and we were like, this is the best lineup ever. This is really cool. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is actually part of Labs, but it is absolutely not a part of any other Magfest event. And so I think that this stuff defines sort of the departure in thinking where Paul has this thing where he says that 80% of everything that we should do should be about video games, and then the other 20% can be just cool stuff that we think of. And I think if I remember the slides that I made 5 minutes ago. Yeah. So this is how I think I see everything, and these guys actually did explicitly agree with that, is that we're really taking Labs as a combination of
We'll get there.
making and gaming.
We're getting there.
And most of the content should be overlap, but not necessarily all of it. There's some making stuff that is purely going to be about making. There's some gaming stuff that's purely going to be about gaming. If you want to talk to me about how those bands fit into that, I'm happy to, but I'm not going to go into it now. And then the rest of the 10% can just be because we feel like doing something and it's fun. So I heard a question, and I'm going to answer that question, which is, that's 110%, dumbass. First of all, Nick told me that's not constructive criticism. And second of all, that's how we roll.
Our tagline is, our motto is, we'll make it work.
Yeah. So this goes into another point, which is as we start defining these things and we coming up with ideas, the one thing that we keep running into is that we have way more content that we want to have than we have actual space to do it in, which leads to one conclusion, which is the defining conclusion, I think, in everything that we are doing with Labs. If you ask me to answer in like one word, what is the future of Labs? For a lot of reasons, it's going to be growth, and I don't know why I put it in the science and opportunity, sure.
Those are 3 words.
We need growth, and we need science, and we need opportunity, and I think that's the end. Is that the
There's
end?
more.
No, yeah. We are the research team. We are tackling yesterday's problems tomorrow. If you want to help us, you can talk with us. We have our meetings. We'll be around if you want to talk about Labs and where we're going and how we're going to get there. I'd be happy to have it. Yeah, do you want to say anything?
We're going to be having a launch party / streaming event next Saturday and Sunday at the warehouse. That is, what month are we in? May 5th and 6th.
We're not in that month yet, but that's a thing.
We will be then.
Yeah.
It's going to start at 1 a.m. on the 5th, which is like at the beginning of Saturday, and go till sometime Sunday. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so come on in. We're going to have a band, and we're going to have hijinks, and there's going to be probably tacos, maybe chili, and
Wait, no, you got that backwards. We committed to doing a chili cook-off. We might have tacos.
that's my preferred one. All right, we're going to have a chili cook-off.
Let's just have chili and give people taco shells.
Ooh, it's basically the same.
Chili tacos. There you go. We're going to have chili tacos. All right. What's up?
So wait, you're gonna like start partying on 1 a.m.?
So we're doing a stream. It's for promo. So we're going to stream. Our theme this year is the Incredible Machine. We're going to stream. So we're starting the stream, and then like I show up in the afternoon because showing up at 1 o'clock in the morning would be stupid, and I don't know why we're doing it.
Because I have no problems. I'm not doing anything.
I mean, if you want to show up at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to stop you. It's fine.
We'll be there the whole
be there.
time.
I'll show up some point on Saturday.
But yeah, there's gonna be a schedule. I'm working on it. We'll post that and stuff. So join the MAGLabs channel on Slack. That's where everything is happening. And yeah, we'll talk later.
Bye.